rough estimate right there, but for all of those 6 rooms that I mentioned, typically anywhere from 24 to 26, right? And that's for 2 months, so you can think of it like 30 days, you got a second month.
Any other questions?
Did everyone put their business card in the? Oh, no. Girl.
Back row, you guys get your business cards in.
I'm not gonna look. I don't. Sherry Cook.
Oh, yay! Awesome.
It's pretty good. So, and again, I thank you all for your time, and I mad props to y'all for what you do.
Or thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. How we doing, guys and gals? Y'all look tired today. Everybody's dragging, it looks like. Y'all party last night or something?
You know it.
Yeah.
I wish.
Awesome. Well, welcome.
Last night.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well,
No, you know.
welcome. We are here today talking about real estate apps. Everybody raise your hand if you have a cell phone. So you are all aware of apps and all that good stuff. So we won't spend too much time on that. But just know that there are apps out there that will make your life tremendously easier in this business, streamline things. Now we're getting into the innovations with AI and the limitless things that can go on with that, and how you could actually have these apps talking to each other via AI. We're not going to do a lot on AI today because we have one of those classes coming up. So make sure you're staying tuned for that, because that's another big thing that's coming to the real estate world that you need to jump on the train or you're going to get left behind. So we're going to talk about a few important apps that you should be utilizing, and then we'll kind of mastermind after that. If you have some apps you want to share that you guys are utilizing in your business and you want to share, it'd be great to share those as well. But first, we're going to talk about ShowingTime. Everybody knows what ShowingTime is. We have it on our phone. We're utilizing that for our showings. A few different things we could do in ShowingTime. I'm not gonna paint it now.
Yeah, you got it. No.
Yeah, I didn't put it on the PowerPoint. We're gonna do it. So we got snapshot. So if you want to open up your phone, you don't have to, but if you want to real quick, on that ShowingTime app on the top left corner, you have the 3, they call it a hamburger, they call you 3 lines, some call it different things. But you click on that, and that opens up your main menu. And one of the things you can do, they're going to talk about the listing activity reports. If you click on the LAR, it will show all your listings, and you can click on those individually, and it'll tell you, how many showings you've had in the past couple of days, past 30 days, past 7 days, and total showings. You can actually leave feedback through this as well when you click on these listings. Another thing you do, instead of getting on a laptop, you can send announcements through ShowingTime through your phone. So if you're doing a price reduction, maybe you're offering closing costs or something like that, same idea. To click on one of your properties. And then you could send a activity report. You could send an announcement. Also logging past activities when you're in there. On those specific, and this is on both sides, on your showings. When you are showing houses, you could take notes on those if your client likes them or not. And then the other thing you can do is message directly. You can message agents. Make sure that you are not messaging any commissions through ShowingTime, because that's considered the MLS. If you are talking about commissions, you have to do that outside of that, because that's considered part of the MLS, arm of the MLS, and we know that we can't talk about buyer commissions anymore because of NAR. So make sure you're refraining from using that as a messaging tool for your buyers. You could also manage buyers on there on the app. You can send them properties. So yeah, make sure that you're using ShowingTime. If I assume that everybody's using ShowingTime, but just know that there's a lot more things than just scheduling showings that you could do with that app. Anybody have any tips or tricks or anything that they use ShowingTime for? They want to share?
So I just want to say why me and Keith included this is because none of these apps will probably like blow your mind. But these apps are supposed to support what you're doing, make it easier and faster.
Yeah.
So that's the idea with all of the information shared here today.
Yeah, something as simple as like I didn't know before this putting the class together and going through the notes that I could send announcements through there. I always thought I had to get on the laptop, go through the showings that I had and click on the people, and that's how I could send announcements. So that's one good thing.
You can also send attached things in ShowingTime,
Mhm.
the app too, which is like really cool. I like, especially like if you want to jazz it up and do like a Canva flyer, or you want to like include like a bunch of links to things that like we don't always look in the docs, we know that. So like you can also attach different things in the ShowingTime app.
And that is correct me if I'm wrong on that. If you are attaching those to your listing, is that something that I know that there's one of the apps sends out those documents as soon as the showing is confirmed. Is that through ShowingTime?
If
You know?
you attach it,
Okay.
yes, so like it's like a double whammy, right? So it's like you also like, if for the agents that don't look at the docs, they're also getting it dumped into their email too, so it can be whatever you want. And I've used it to send out, like when I'm doing a price reduction or something, I'll put a little jabby thing just to catch somebody's eye or whatever, but you can attach all of that there, and then it sends it to them when they're either scheduling the showing, or if you're doing a price reduction, you can add an attachment. You can add an attachment really to anything that you're doing with ShowingTime on your listing.
And I tell you what, it's extra work. So you're putting your listing in the MLS and you're doing all the work to do that. And then you're like, oh man, I just put my listing and now I got to go mess with ShowingTime.
But you already got it right.
Yeah, but it's robust, meaning you can put all that same information, square footage, bedrooms, baths, all that stuff in ShowingTime if you'd like. But at the very least, think about how much easier our lives would be if everybody attached all their documents to ShowingTime. Because what am I doing when I am scheduling showings? Well, I schedule the showings, the ones that get approved. I'm going back in the MLS. I'm going to the docs. I'm either downloading them or I'm printing them out for each property. So when I started getting these emails, once I made a showing of, oh, here's extra information about your showing, and all of a sudden the R codes is there, floor plans are there, and it's all in my hand. I'm like, man, this is amazing. So just think if we all start doing this on a regular basis, other agents will catch on. And like I said, that eliminates how much work getting ready for showings for your buyers. Like I said, I'm putting together almost like I'm feeling like I'm putting together a package for every property because I want the MLS sheet, I want the R codes, I want anything I could have floor plans in hand, but it's so much work. So make it a habit to start attaching those documents to your ShowingTime for your listing. So that goes out automatically to any buyer agents that are going to be showing your property.
And then like, this is mobile access to information. So we know real estate agents, we're on 24/7. They don't care that you're coming from church and you don't have your laptop, or you went to your niece's baseball game or something like that. As we go through these apps, you'll see what information is available to you from your phone that you definitely have on with you, so you don't have to wait to answer that person's question. Because sometimes they're not gonna wait for you. They'll move on to the next agent. So.
And you can make some reports in here too to your sellers, which is cool. Like I like to check in with my sellers once a week when our houses like are just, sitting there, which is normal. But you can it's a lot easier because you can do it from the computer, but you can also do it from the app, and it shows them like, hey, it's Monday. Just wanted to give you the snapshot of like, this is how many showings are in the area. This is like, so we're right on par, or hey, maybe we need to talk about X, Y, and Z, and you can just send it to them. It's literally right there. So ShowingTime is awesome for all that too, on the seller side.
I mean, I look like I'm a professional. You're
Yeah.
sending me a report of what's been going on with your property.
Yeah, I mean, and these days, let's face it, I mean, you don't want to go radio silent with your sellers right now if you have property sitting. You want to be communicating, even if it's communicating nothing. You want to be communicating about, hey, this is what the market's doing around your listing right now. So you can send them those reports and stuff like that.
And there is a version of ShowingTime that you can give your sellers access to. So like, it's relatively recent. I haven't played around with it personally too much, but as I was getting together some of the stuff for the class, I learned a lot about it. The notes that I gave everybody, there's some links there if you wanted to dig more into it.
Awesome, awesome. So we're gonna switch,
You just gotta scroll down.
yeah, switch gears now. We're gonna go to RPR. Are you guys utilizing RPR on your phone?
On my phone.
How about just in the MLS in general? Have you guys been on RPR at all?
Yeah.
Okay, so you kind of get a gist of it.
Never been.
Check it out. It's so on your, if you pull up a property listing and you have all the little icons where the docs are and map and all that, one of the things you can click on is the RPR. There's 4 little circles and they're all links to different RPR.
Well, I had it, but it.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
We'll get you fixed.
Okay.
But it's a great resource. You can pull up properties on the fly. You could see comparables really quick and stuff like that. You could actually now, and I have one pulled up. If you pull it up on your phone, if you click on a property and then in the bottom right corner, click reports, you could actually create a property report just as you can in on your laptop. And they have all the different ones: property flyer, neighborhood report, market activity, property report. And you basically can go in and actually create a CMA on that listing or on the fly. And this is something that you could use, if you're meeting with if you're meeting with clients at the property and they may be interested or want to know information about that price right then, you can pull it up and start doing stuff like that. You can save properties on RPR. You could just, when you're out and about, I like having RPR open to see what else is for sale in the neighborhood. And sometimes what I've done is we've looked at one house at a certain price point, and I've just randomly been RPR and said, "Hey, did you know this other house is in this neighborhood for sale in the same price point?" And I'll show them. And obviously, if it's an appointment, oh my God, thank you. If it's a go and show, we're able to look at a house immediately. And it seems like I used to use, and I still use it, but the HomeSpotter app, I feel, has gotten a little laggy and it's not as polished as RPR is as far as looking on the map and stuff like that. So
So if you go in RPR when you're talking about the canvassing the neighborhood,
Mhm.
I don't know if any of you are fans of door knocking. I knew a couple people that used to really like it. You can pull down on the neighborhood and before and see what it looks like. So you can maybe section it off, because I don't know, the girls that I knew that did a lot of door knocking, they would do like maybe 40, maybe 50 doors. And they'd want to be able to plan which part of the neighborhood made sense. And then they screenshot what they did, save it, and then go back and plan the rest of the neighborhood. So it allows you to kind of look at the layout. And then, so you can use these things to support your business in various different ways.
Yeah, you could do by in RPR, you could search by neighborhood too. So that's how you can start down that road if you want to do the
Yeah,
canvas.
and then just pull it down to the
Yep.
level.
Anybody out there using RPR at a high level, or any tips and tricks you guys have come across while using it? My main thing with anything like this app wise is whichever one, you don't have to necessarily use RPR, you can use HomeSpotter, you can have something when you're when you're taking these buyers through these houses, because they're going to have questions, and 9 times out of 10 you're going to be able to answer that question relatively quickly. But if you have one of these apps open, whether it's about the property, whether it's about the neighborhood, whether it's about the surrounding area, so just being able to have instant information for your buyers is so crucial, because I've never met a buyer that made a offer on a property when they had an unanswered question. Whether it's about age of the roof or whatever. Usually what happens is I say, I'll figure that out, or we'll get that information for you. And then we're off to the next property, and then they have a whole new list of questions for the new property. And then there's all kinds of other stuff in RPR. You could send reports via text. You could do a buyer tour report. You could 3D touch shortcuts. it's just a very robust program that you could use and utilize. All right, who here drives a car or a truck to go meet with clients? Or a bicycle, whichever you prefer. Are you making sure you're taking full advantage of your tax write-offs on miles for those trips? You, girl, you're missing out on some
I
huge
like you, I see that
tax.
you have it on there, it's the best app ever.
Yeah.
If you spend no money on anything in your business, spend it on that.
Yeah.
You want something to track your miles, so there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long story short, for the newer agents in here, when it comes tax time, you could write off your miles. Right now, it's 67 cents a mile or something. Somebody know off the top of your head? I know it's in the 60s, 65, 67 cents a mile. So you get a tax credit for your mileage, which means if you owe $10,000 in taxes at the end of the year and you drove 5,000 miles, your tax liability is going to get reduced by $3,750. It's not a deduction. It's not a write-off. It is, if you owe this much, we're going to deduct what you owe from your mileage. So it is a huge tax savings. So make sure you are recording your miles. So we got Mile IQ. There's a ton of different ones. I use QuickBooks, self-employed for mine, and they all are basically the same. They are running in the background on your phone. And the way mine works is always running in the background. And then it records every time I get in my car and drive somewhere, it records that trip. And then I have the ability to go in that app and say, okay, this was a trip for personal or this was a trip for business. You mark it for business. You have to tell, hey, this is what I was going to do. It's on a listing appointment for Bobby Jones. And then that goes and gets logged, and then it'll calculate your mileage by the end of the year. But very, very important that you're doing that, because it is, like I said, I can't reiterate it enough how huge of a tax savings it is for you deducting those miles. I'm not a tax accountant. This isn't financial advice, but trust me, it's something you don't want to miss out on. The double-edged sword of that is, and I'm just kind of why you want to use the app to keep your records, is because if you were ever to get audited and they had questions about your mileage, they're going to want basically your mileage log. And that basically is doing it for you, and keeping a mileage log of your miles, the reason for those miles, how many miles you drove, and then you'll be able to hand that over if you're ever audited. I've seen people do it the other way, where they're just keeping it on a spreadsheet, and I tried to do that for a little while, and it was tough. So I know that Lauren, do you mind giving us a little more insight on my life? I've never used it. If there's something specific that you love about it, or
So it literally,
just operate the same way I kind of just described, just running in the background, and then you can go in and track your trips. And
so but after each drive, it like pulls up literally like the app and says, was that personal or business? And so you can just do it right then and there. It's like $8.99 a month, but then what is also cool about it is like it will take all the miles that you've sectioned out and put it into a spreadsheet, and then you can send it to your accountant. So it's like all documented in there. So again, for $9 a month, you can try it like for the year, it's cheaper. I think it's the best. It's just the most user-friendly, easy. And then like if you make consistent drives, like this drive, it picks up, it just will automatically always know if you're coming to 121 Commerce Parkway, that's a business drive. And like it knows, like if I'm driving to Riley's school, that's a personal drive. And so taking phone calls, and then therefore it's business drive. It's really cool.
Based on that, I love the idea of my life, because the QuickBooks Self-Employed doesn't prompt me. Now, I may have that turned off. I may have notifications or something turned off, but
Right.
it doesn't prompt me at the end of my drive. I love that idea, because
Yeah.
if you go through 30 days of no prompts, you have 30 days of driving. You got to go back through like, oh, this address, I have no idea what this address is. You have to go on Google Maps, like, oh yeah, that was so-and-so's house I went and dropped off a pop by for.
It literally just prompts it to you right then and there.
I love
and
that.
You can just hit the button, personal or business. I just love it. I think it's so awesome. Money well spent. And it's a
Absolutely.
write-off, so.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's gonna save you way more money in the long run, like
Yeah.
you said.
So I ended up like by doing that last year, I think I wrote off, I'm like at $14,000 right now of like being able to write off in my miles, just from having that app. Whereas like the first year I was in it, I was like, okay, so like it was a headache to try to figure it all out,
Yeah.
so.
And like I said, the main thing that you want to remember is you want that pretty package of your miles in case.
You never get audited,
Yeah,
yeah,
get you
it's got it all right there,
it's
it's
just
all
tangible.
trackable in an app, like they can't come back and say anything.
All right. I'm excited about the next section here. Let's see, not Sentrilock, although I'm gonna be passionate about Sentrilock, but I'm excited about the digital business cards because I need to make one. So, who has a digital business card on their phone? Which one do you use, Liz?
So, again, I use my iPhone, has it.
Oh, really? So Apple provides a digital business card now? That's really cool. I did not
Like
know
I
that.
can just send my whole thing, the whole shebang with all my links and everything, my picture, the whole thing right to somebody's
Yeah.
phone and all my links pull up and.
Does anybody have a digital business card on their phone right now? Like Blinq or anything? Can you pull it up real quick? You don't mind me using you as an example? Just not trying to tell them what it is. And that's how sad it is. I need to get this done. I've been wanting to get this done for like 2 or 3 months. So this is an example. If you guys can see, this is the Blinq one. It just has her picture on it, her name, and then a QR code. And what reminded me about this is actually I met somebody last week asking for a card. And they said, "Oh, no, I've got a digital one." And they pulled out their phone like this, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So then I took mine and scanned it. And then when you scan it, it comes up with basically all her information on there. So very easy. Instead of having, I'm still a fan of, obviously, how are we supposed to win prizes if we don't have physical business cards? So I'm still a fan of having the physical business cards, but it's so much easier when, hey, can I get your number? Oh yeah, here you go, real quick. Can you scan that? And then it pops over, and then as you see right there at the very bottom, I just have to tap on save contacts, and I could opt to have that emailed to me, or I could just save it directly to my phone. I wish Caitlin was here. What's the other one besides Blinq?
There's so many.
Another one, maybe it's Blinq. There's one that is really polished.
Screen behind you, there's a bunch of them. I really think it matters which
Yeah.
one you have, like people have different personal preferences. Android has a couple features that are super similar to that, iPhone's got stuff. It's just something so that if you run out of business cards, because we like to talk to people how they want to be talked to. And if you're talking to a client that's a little bit techy or you're meeting somebody at a networking event, you want to be able to easily exchange information.
Yeah.
And with Blinq in particular, when you go to save the contact, it'll let you make a little note about where you met this person or what happened for contact information. So again, just another way to make things easier for yourself.
And of course, and of course, so like Caitlin, if you guys know Caitlin in the office, she has one, and when hers pops up, it has all her social links that pop up. You go to my Instagram, go to my Facebook, go to my business.
Linktree, yeah.
Linktree, that's the other one I was trying to
You
think.
put all of that if you have, like I said, like with the iPhone, if you don't want to spend a lot of money first, you can do all of that and it allows you to make a contact card.
Okay.
And then you just kind of bump your phone with another one and it imports it right in.
Mhm.
So there's that's an option too.
Yeah.
And it has your website, your Insta,
Nice.
your Facebook, your TikTok, you can put whatever you want. It's new, it's a newer
Yeah.
feature. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Is that just under your contacts?
You create your own contact card and you just go in there and you put it all in. And then as soon as you start texting with that person, all of your information imports into
Yeah, I
there.
noticed when I'm texting, they'll pop up.
Mhm. Yeah.
Awesome. So nobody in here, I hope everybody goes home today and makes a digital business card. Like I said, I've been wanting to do it. And I keep forgetting about it. And then it got popped back in my head last week when I met somebody and they had, I'm like, oh man, I need to do that because like I said, I still like the old school cards.
So that's what I was.
Yeah, I like the old school cards, but I also like the quick and easy of, hey, take this. All right. Any questions about business, digital business cards? Now, keep in mind, and I don't know how easy it is. I'm sure it's fairly easy with like Blinq. If you're like hosting an open house, I'm sure that you could take that QR code for your Blinq card and just put it on, in the open house on a flyer or something. So people coming in, oh, you want my contact here? You just scan this QR code real quick. So that's something else to think about when you're, easy way for the public when you're interacting with the public to get your information. All right. Sentrilock. Everybody have Sentrilock on their phone. Please, if you don't have Sentrilock on your phone, please get Sentrilock for your phone. Sentrilock has been around 8 years now, I think, 7, 8 years probably. And I still get agents today. I don't have access to Sentrilock. Can you please send me a 1-day showing? And you shouldn't, it's an app on your phone. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what you have to do to get it. If you have to go down to JCar or, but please get it. It makes listing agents' life a whole lot easier than having to take a call just to give you a 1-day showing code. And I tell you what, it's a whole lot cooler. If they still say cool, I don't know what the kids are saying these days. It's really cool to walk up and just hit one button on that lockbox and have your phone in your hand and boom, and all of a sudden that box pops open. You look like a superstar that's doing things with your phone in front of your client. So I won't spend too much time on it. If you haven't, you know what you could do. Obviously, the other half of it is one of the talking points when I'm in a listing presentation is lockbox security. And I tell my sellers or my potential listings, hey, just to let you know, we will be putting a lockbox on your door, and I'll bring it with us. I'll bring it with me on the listing, and I'll say it's one of these fancy new tech lockboxes. You have to have an app to open it. It's not like one of those old school locker combination lockboxes where a nosy buyer may be looking over the shoulder of their agent can get the combination, and then just give them peace of mind that yes, there's going to be a key hanging from your front door, but it's going to be in a very, very secure lockbox. So just a talking point that you can use with yourself. All right, open house apps. Who does open house at a high level and is using digital technology for sign-ins? So tell me about your I'm sorry you missed last week because of the snow. You got to teach in Fayetteville. I was excited to have you in because I heard the Fayetteville class was amazing. Tell me a little bit about your process. Open house, you have an iPad or a tablet?
Yeah. So I use so I don't even use the iPad anymore. I figured out because of my good friend that's sitting down there, Cole, how to just take the QR code in a cute little, sign for them to sign in.
Okay.
And actually what it is now, so I've used Curve Hero and I like it a lot. But Curve Hero only lets you do up to like 3 listings before you have to start paying for it. So what I found is Google Forms connects to our CRM follow-up boss. So I have the QR code for that. They sign in and then it all dumps into my follow-up boss. So I get them right then and there. And then I have it set up on the back end with follow-up boss so that it dumps in as an open house, like potential lead. And then I can start going from there on that. And that will also do that for your KV core too. Yes, so you know.
Yeah.
So if you're like with EXP and you get KV core, it will do the same thing, but it's all good to Google form is all it is. It's a QR code and then it's like just my picture with like, go ahead, please sign in, whatever. And people love a QR code to do that because like they can kind of start walking around with their phone and kind of get a feel for it. But now I already have your information, so tell me what it is. So it just works both ways.
Awesome. And given that people are different personality types, you see that sometimes people are like, oh, I don't want to use my phone to scan that, or
and so like that's also my whole this Friday and she feel better about it. Again, I still because like there's always going to be that,
Yeah.
Some lady, I was in an open house on Sunday and some lady was like, would you mind stepping outside? I'm just a germaphobe, so I only like to be here with my agent. It was like showing that they are, and I was no problem, whatever. So people are weird, you know, like you come across all sorts of people, so.
And I will say that I am, speaking about, I'm a physical business card type of guy. I'm also the clipboard guy at the open house that I still struggle with. If I could give any advice to, especially the younger agents in the building or the newer agents, what she just described will make your life so much easier. And what I'm saying is, as far as capturing the information and having it automated right to your CRM.
And it also, if you don't have a CRM, it will go into a Google spreadsheet,
Yeah.
just so you know too.
Well, let's not even allow them not to have a CRM.
I mean, just saying.
Because you're just basically unpacking all the mistakes I made early on, and it just because basically what I'm saying is, if you start your business doing what she's doing and having everything automated and systems running like that, where boom, we're an open house, we met this person, they scan this QR code and it's getting dumped right into your CRM automatically, that's going to make your life so much easier when you're 10 years down the road than somebody like me, who self-admittedly was terrible with my CRMs and collecting information, and I'm still paying for it and still trying to
Yeah.
undo the trash that my CRM has turned into, because there's no rhyme or reason to my CRM. Because it wasn't automated. I wasn't taking advantage of all the automated systems and whatnot. I was the person that was collecting names on a spreadsheet or on a clipboard, and then say, okay, it's Saturday afternoon, I'm doing this open house, I'll take care of this on Monday. And then all of a sudden I find that clipboard 2 weeks later and I forgot to put the people in my CRM and blah, 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 blah. So lose potential business that way. But if you are looking for a good piece of advice, anything that can automate people that you meet and put them directly in the CRM, label them like an open house, or I met this person here, it'll make your life so much easier, and it'll make your lead gen a whole lot easier too when you're referring back to those old leads, because you'll have notes on them already. You'll know where you got them. You'll be able to say, hey, we met at 123 Main Street's open house 3 months ago. I just want to check back in. Kind of lost touch. Are you still interested in buying? Blah, blah, blah. Anybody else doing open houses with using digital sign-in?
I'll plug in my computer on the other. But I just want to show you how I did. That side of automation, you will never remember your passwords.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. So a little segue. Thank you, Nicole. We'll talk real quick, even though it's not on here. If you do not know, there are password key apps out there. So if you have 54 different apps that all have different logins and different passwords, one of them is called LastPass. I use that. And basically what it is it's a login with a master password. I log into that, and whenever I'm on my laptop, it logs into that LastPass. And if I come on to, say I need to pay my, internet bill, get on the internet website, and all of a sudden that password and login information auto populates on that website for you. No more writing down a bunch of passwords. And you can save all those. I use LastPass. There's a couple different ones. I can't think of the name of them right now, but it makes it a whole lot easier if you're having trouble keeping up with your passwords. And the good news is they auto-populate the passwords for you. So, that gibberish of 30 characters that has exclamation points and number signs and all that stuff in it, you don't have to remember all that. It remembers it for you, and it produces strong passwords, and like I said, it stores it right on your browser for you. Yeah, same thing as like what Samsung Pass, or this is just you can use it on your laptop as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Our team uses Follow Up Boss, but I'm gonna show y'all the KB core, because I think everybody in here is EXP, right? So everybody has access to KB core. So this is just an example, right? I'm just gonna click download mobile app so it will show y'all. Let's get the class out of the way. And this kind of touches on something that Keith will come down to in a minute, so we'll circle more back on it, like having mobile access to your CRM on the go, but that's what that's talking about. So the KB Core mobile app, but we're gonna focus on, this is the open house app. When you download it, it looks like this. So it literally just asks you a couple questions. It's gonna ask for the address you're at, you can put in the MLS number. It asks you what picture you want to use. It'll let you make a QR code. So you could either hand people your phone or a tablet for them to sign in on, or you could print out that QR code and let them scan it on their phone. When I was doing a lot of open houses, I did both because you don't know what level of tech people are at. Some people look at a QR code and like, what am I supposed to do with that? So then you could just direct them to your tablet or give them your phone and have them sign in on this. Now, when you have this downloaded and they sign in on this, right? One of the questions it asks you in the 2-minute sign up is, what do you want to hashtag these clients coming in? So as you answer these questions, right? I think I still have some folks in here, even though we don't.
And that hashtag is just gonna create tags in the CRM, is that correct?
You're still in my phone.
I'm sorry.
Yes. It's okay. So if I come over here to all contacts, right? And then I hit select hashtags, and all CRMs have some version of this. This is from a past open house. I'm gonna click this hashtag. And right here, we have all the folks that signed in under that hashtag.
Nice.
So this is how you use automation to support your business. These people are, I find, less likely to lie when they have to put in the email address themselves, because when they write on the paper, they write gobbledygook. But when they put it in the app, it kicks back. It'll give you an error message if it's not a real email address. So they've got to put real contact information in there, and then it filters right in. Now this is pretty core. It could filter in the follow-up box for you because it'll come in as an email that'll push the follow-up box. And then, so you want to do real quick follow-up. You've already been at this open house for 2, 3, 4 hours. You're hungry, you're ready to be done and move on to your Saturday, right? But we need to do follow-up. So we pull this up, search these people using the hashtag that you selected, and it automatically applied. Then you could just click, and you could do this in the app too, and just email them all or text them all. Thanks for coming out. Let me know if you have any questions or whatever you want to share with them.
And even one step further, there's a way that you could automatically put them on a smart plan as they come in, correct? So you may even be able to automate that where, hey, as soon as I put these people in, and as soon as they sign up for this open house, I want to send them a thank you email, and it'll dump them into that.
This, I won't go too deep with it because I get crazy with the technology. This also, when you hashtag them, what open house you met them at, you also know when abouts that property was on, listed for sale, so you know about how long you've been dealing with them, or when you met them, you know also what kind of property they're looking for. So even though you maybe only spoke 2 minutes to them, you know now that they're looking at houses in around the 300K mark in this neighborhood with this bedroom and bathroom configuration. So you can just set them up on a search and start taking them properties. And then either in this or in MLS, you can see if they're looking, and then you can just start supporting them. And then they'll feel real natural to come to you when they have questions.
Maybe top of mind then.
You were demonstrating value in a time where people are questioning if they need agents. You're just from one small interaction using their technology to help you do this for all of the people and not just one. Because, I mean, we're limited. So I know probably most of you have read Atomic Habits by James Clear. And he says, I'm paraphrasing, I never remember. We don't rise to our goals. We fall to our systems. So systems like this is going to keep you a little bit further.
Absolutely. Thank you, Nicole.
Yeah, I really wanted to show y'all that.
That kind of just covered CRM apps. We talked about KB Core, talked about follow-up boss. Very important that you guys are running something for a CRM. Because like I said, you go too far down the road of not having one or not using it properly, it's going to be a whole lot more work trying to get it all straightened out and that's the way it should be working. Canva, who is using Canva? Canva's free now for you as an EXP agent. In case you didn't know, we won't spend too much on Canva. You can design anything in Canva. I've designed open house sign-in sheets. I've designed expired letters. I've designed, anything and everything you think of outside the realm. Anything that is visual, you can design in Canva. And the great part about it is, if you have an idea of something you're trying to design, I guarantee there's probably a template for it already out there. Because they provide lots of templates and stuff like that. And then, of course, Chat GTP. Who's using AI? Chat GTP. Nicole, I believe we're gonna have a class coming up.
It's such a beautiful thing, how fast it does it. I just love it. I don't like that when it's married it. It actually married in with Canva. So like social media posts, I do a lot of those on several different pages. You can use it in so many different ways. I put in the notes that I shared with y'all, if you can think about it, you can probably use Canva for, ChatGPT for it. I've used it to help me compare hotels for a vacation that we're planning in September. I've used it to help me with meal planning, so literally you just asking all of the things. I'll go into more detail in the class we'll have on it. But content creation is a big one. I oftentimes start by asking it questions like, can you tell me some things that are going on in the Raleigh market right now? Or what 5 things do my buyers need to know? And it'll put out a list. If you don't like it, tell it to work harder and give you more. It's gonna search the internet, relevant articles and pull information for you. Then you can take those tidbits and say, okay, that was great, thank you. Now write this into a social media post. Then link your Canva and copy the information and put it in there, and it will pull up a relevant template that you can just go ahead and then just customize and then post.
I'll give you one better. You could say, give me 10 posts, and then all of a sudden you got a social media campaign
So,
Yeah.
for the next 10 days about, I've done it with buyers tips. And you literally can say, hey, I need you to create 10 Facebook posts about tips for first time home buyers.
so
And then spit out 10 of them, and then you just have Facebook content for the next 2 weeks.
we have this one. Okay. So this.
Oh.
I use AI to completely write this. So I went with ChatGPT. I said, because I'm a real estate agent still. I know what apps I was using, but you want it to pull information for you, and then you can just edit as needed. So I asked ChatGPT, what app should we discuss? And then it gave me a list. I refined the list, and what are the best features of these apps? And then it gave me the list. And so I finally, after asking a lot of questions, refined it. Then I took what it gave me, it created an outline for me, and I pushed it into another AI, which is called Gamma, and wrote this presentation. It took me 30 minutes. So I'm going to teach a class on exactly how I did it, but just start going in the free and playing with it.
It's awesome.
Dump information in there, it'll write emails for
It'll
you.
write your
It'll write
listing descriptions.
listing description, presentation. Please, please, please don't post as is. Just make sure you double check all the facts. It is not 100% right, but it is such a powerful tool to make you more efficient. Like, think of all these things as ways to support you. So you don't have to skip an event. You can go to the movies because you have your access to information in your phone. You can make this appointment because you can get this stuff done more quickly using the AI. So think of this as to prop you up and support you, help you make it faster and look more professional. So there's so much stuff in the AI. I'm gonna teach a full class on it on April.
Justin, you have a question, comment?
With AI, the best thing about it is you can say like, you can write it and then say like, write your response on a 6th grade reading level.
In my head right now,
Don't tell who doesn't, because I'm like, I don't know what these words mean. These big words.
Justin, real quick, as a reasoning, tell us why you picked 6th grade.
6th grade is like intro to elementary school, and in the South, the average person is on like 7th grade. level.
Yep. That's why I said that you could literally take it. So what I did on my last listing is I said, please write a listing description for 123 Main Street. And then it goes into all the real estate sites and pulls all the listing descriptions from that property ever. And it kind of just mixes and mingles them. And then I had to go back and I said, okay, I need you to rewrite this at a 6th grade reading level. And it did its magic and spit it
Funny
back out.
that you say that, because there's some people that make me mad and I have to respond to them in email. So I'll brain dump what I need to say to them and then take it, please make this polite and professional. So we don't take all the staff out of it. And then I can now this one to you. So the framework that I'd recommend when you use this is tell it what you want it to do. So you having it write a social media post for you, tell it to act as an expert social media marketer, and then tell it stuff. Don't expect it to find all the information for you. The more you give it, the more it will sound like you, the more it will sound less like a robot.
Yeah, and it's a
Give it what you want it to include. Don't be afraid to tell it to revise, and tell it to ask you questions. Cause then you get the best result. Like, yesterday I was playing with it and I was like, well, I'd really like to lose some weight and eat healthier. I don't feel like doing all that research though. So let me see what ChatGPT says. So I told it what I wanted to do but I was kind of really high level with it because I hadn't researched it at all. So I said, make sure you ask me any questions for information that I've left out. And it gave me 10 questions about my lifestyle, what kind of exercise I was willing to do, how much time I wanted to spend. And then I answered those questions and it kicked me out a plan.
That's awesome.
So it can
That's
write,
amazing.
it can write itineraries for you when you're showing folks. It will do direction. If you put in 5 addresses that you need to take people, it links to the internet. It'll Google map it for you, put them in the right order, and then you can send this to. So think of it as your virtual assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Nicole will tell you too, the biggest piece of advice when messing with ChatGPT is make sure you time block,
Mhm.
because it is a rabbit hole.
Mhm.
And I mean, you could go on trainings on YouTube. And just to show you how dialed in it can get. I think one of the first times I saw somebody talking about using ChatGPT, the prompts it was using was like foreign language to me. It was, I need 10, I think it was actually about first time home buyers, but it said, I need 10 social media posts with hooks and mini hooks and like all this verbiage and lingo that I didn't understand. But once you
I'll tell you one.
start learning what, the different lingo is, it makes it so easy, and you tell it what to do and it does exactly what you tell it to do.
I'll show y'all one and then we'll get out of
Yeah.
here. Just high level. Switch this back. And now with all y'all looking at me, usually it won't take 12 hours. Wait. So that's one that I have wanted to show y'all. Okay, so this is what it looks like. If y'all have never been in here before, you can see how much I use it. The new tabs go over here. You can pull your history over here and you can link other GPTs. You probably want to link Canva. If you had Explore GPTs, it shows you all the other stuff. Now, if you come in here and link Canva, all you got to do is click it. I've already done it, so the button's gone away. But that way, when you ask for templates, it will link you to the best one that it knows of for you. But we'll go. New chat. I'm going to paste in something that I prepared for this one. So this just says, act as an expert marketer. I'm a real estate agent. Plan for me a year's worth of prospecting month by month. Break down each prospecting activity. Keep in mind the holidays. And we don't need that. That was just meant for the class. It'll probably take about a minute. And then this is going to give you real high level information. You'll probably want to ask it questions after this or tell it to refine. But it's going to write 12 months and it's going to recommend 2 to 3 different prospecting activities that you can do every single month. So this is not, because we talk a lot about social media with this is not just social media. This will plan other stuff and things for you. So in January, it's recommending calling folks, social media content, an email check-in, plan a webinar. February is factoring the fact there's a holiday. This will also write scripts for you. Wait, April was doing some scripting for videos she'd like for clients to receive when they're under contract. She asked me to write the scripts. I put in the basics. At this point,
It literally, and then when you write the scripts, it'll literally tell you in the scripts, okay, cut away to a picture of a house, or cut away to a market stat sheet, or it'll give you what to say but it'll also tell you how to produce the video on top of it.
So, and it's gonna keep going in the background, yeah. And then if any of this you don't like, you can simply tell it to revise whatever parts you don't like. If you need more detail on any of it, does have questions about it. You know, this cleaning giveaway sounds great. How do I do that? It'll tell you.
I like that.
Yeah, it's so much easier. It gives you just a base to start from.
Nicole, can you get the address thing?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Is yours, do you pay for yours or is this a free version?
I do now because
I for it?
I've done that. This is free though. I've done.
Yeah, you
This will work.
I didn't know.
So I now pay $20 because EXP's already paying for Canva. And there was something else I canceled, so I was like, all right, I can use this because I use it so much. When you're on the free one, you get pretty much all the same features, but you hit usage limits. And then it tells you come back 12 hours later, and I personally, I didn't have time for that. Because I have so many things that I'm doing.
How much is it?
$20, and then there's another one that's $200. So I hope one day that that I have that much to do, that I need that $200 one. But yeah, so I just wanted to show y'all something that wasn't social media, that was pretty simple. If y'all give me a few addresses, it's almost done with this. I don't want it to try to reason for two things at once. And y'all will probably laugh at me, but I always use please and thank you because maybe the robots will take over the world and I want them to remember that I was nice to them. I always say please and thank you, so don't judge me.
Another app I like is Regrid. If you don't have that, that's a good one.
What is it?
It's property lines, Regrid, and it's free. There's like a paid version, but you don't need it. I think the paid version they like send you emails, which is horrible.
Give me another address, Sherry. I use
For one Charles Road.
1201, what was that?
Charles, SURLES. Road,
Where's that?
Benson,
And give me one more, somebody.
15 Brick Mill.
See, I told it to ask me questions for information it's still needed. What to say? 10 a.m. Store open. Order. So I put in what, 4 sentences of text? And it asked me a couple questions and it booted it up for it. Yeah, that would take us a lot longer to try to do. You can do it in ShowingTime. Also, if you put in your addresses, but this is super simple too. And then ShowingTime is great for us on the back end, but you can send that to your client, how it orders them. So this would be nice to have text that you can copy to send to them to be like, hey, we're gonna start at this one, go to this one, tells you your drive times.
Well, we just did 50 pop buys and we put all the addresses in that.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, we have somebody starting here, doing this area, and we have somebody starting here, doing this area. And it like, here's what everybody's doing, here's the route.
Nice. Nice. It's 50, huh? That would have been a lot of coordination and it just really simplified it for you. Nice. Any other questions that we can answer? I think we're over. And if that's all you got,
All right, we got this real quick here.
I don't remember.
Buyers are under contract now, what? Also, Jenna, in person, next Friday here at the Real School, 10 a.m. You guys want to hang out, get your Gen Up hours in. We've got quite a bit of, I think we got 9 or 10 signed up right now, so under contract. Yeah. Going through the under contract process. So, and then we have a, I don't have anybody signed up for it yet, but we also have an elective on March 10th. That's a Monday. So I don't know if that one will happen, but definitely the Gen Up will be happening. We have a ton of people signed up for that. So
And if y'all can make it out to Fayetteville, Justin is teaching tomorrow.
that's what you're teaching.
Listing presentation.
Nice.
And objection. I should go. So come hang out with us in Fayetteville if you can make it.
Yes. I've seen his listing presentation. It's
Amazing.
crushes it.
Yeah, I know we didn't spend really any time on Canva because we've taught that here before. If you want a recording of this, I gave y'all notes for this stuff, but I'll put the recording up from this class and there's like 3 or 4 Canva recordings if we needed help and support. Caitlin does a beautiful job teaching those classes. And
Yeah, we do have a YouTube page as well. Check out our YouTube that has all the recordings of our classes. So awesome. Well, thank y'all for hanging out. Grab some lunch.
Yeah, she looks really nice sandwiches.
Thank you.